For this lesson, we're going to be finishing up lesson 5.5, in which we were looking at graphing with our x and y intercepts and looking at the form of a line ax plus by equals k. We were also looking at xy equals k, and that's the piece that we will go through today. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to click the link here. And we're going to look at the equation xy equals k. Now this equation is very different than our other equations. So if you look at the Desmos graph to the right, you will immediately notice that it's not a line. And it's important that we see examples of equations that do not give us lines. So not every type of equation will always give us a nice straight line. So if I look here and I look at this graph, what do I notice about the graph? Well, we have two curved lines. They're kind of like these L shaped, and they're on opposite sides of our plane. So we have two curves, and they are diagonally across from each other. Now, how is this different than what we were looking at before in the other graphs that we've put on Desmos? The most significant difference is it is not a line. And that is our most significant difference here. So not all equations actually give us lines. So we need to be mindful of that. And that's what lesson 5.6 will continue to focus on. Now let's look at this value of k. So if I have xy equals k, what happens if k is positive? So right now we have k. Let's make k more positive. So when k is positive, our lines are still in these two corners or quadrants of our Cartesian plane. Now the bigger k gets, that middle bit just gets further from the origin, but it's still like that. So we'll draw a little diagram here. It's just going to be a sketch. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just draw the sketch the best you can. We just want to have an understanding of what the shape looks like. Now let's see what happens when k is negative. Let's make k negative again. If we look here, see when it switches over to negative? We notice those curves now in the other quadrants. It's flipped now. So they're still diagonal from one another, but they're just on the other side. So we'll draw that little diagram here. There we go. You won't be asked to graph this clearly or exactly. Just a sketch is absolutely perfect. And that's it. That's all you need to know.